A year on from the first fatality, the US has suffered almost 500,000 COVID-related deaths. In that time, Killian Dunn has lived on either coast, moving from Boston to LA back in November. I caught up with him to find out what was happening on the ground right now.
Since I moved here, we've been under kind of arguably the strictest lockdown in America. Nothing was open except for like essentials, grocery shops, like all that sort of stuff. No bars, restaurants, nothing like that. No clothes shops, anything. So I didn't even get the chance to kind of really meet people since moving here until about a couple of weeks ago when the state lifted the restrictions it currently has and kind of implemented brand new ones. So outdoor seating is open here. It's usually pretty nice, so it didn't really affect the restaurants too much. Clothes shops are open, but the only problem is our ICU wards are getting within like their threshold. So, crazy amount of people in LA have COVID. I think it's like 17,000 new cases every day, 400 deaths a day, something like that. It's been nuts. But as soon as the ICU capacity gets within 15%, I think we have to go into another lockdown, similar to what Dublin will be like now. So I suppose only time will tell. It's not as if the thing is going away, so I'm sure we'll get put in another lockdown. But for the last few weeks, it's been okay.
Although being in the same country, Boston and LA are almost as far apart as Boston and Dublin. And with every state being affected differently by the pandemic, I was curious to find out how it felt experiencing coronavirus on both coasts.
The restrictions in Boston aren't that bad. They never really got that bad. I was there until October 31st. The weather was nicer, so they still had outdoor seating and all that. But from what I've heard since winter started, they still have 30% capacity in restaurants. People are still able to go out and socialise, and the numbers really aren't that bad in proportion to the population. So when you consider the numbers like here compared to that of Boston, it's a pretty big difference. They're definitely stricter here for good reason, but I think Boston are doing it slightly better.
During this time, like in Ireland, America had gone through a change in government. I wanted to know if there were any noticeable differences in how the two presidents had handled the pandemic.
Believe it or not, restrictions are being lifted. They're only probably going to get more lenient, which is strange because I wouldn't tag Joe Biden with doing that. It's definitely interesting. I didn't expect it, but the country seems to be doing a little bit better, but that also could very well be because the news just isn't talking about it.
The US are currently administering about 1.7 million vaccine shots per day, and more than 15 million people have been fully vaccinated.
It's coming out faster than I think they anticipated. I know someone in my position will be one of the last groups of people to get it, and they're even talking about scheduling one for the summer.
If it continues at this pace, the herd immunity threshold could be reached by July. However, in that time it is projected that an additional 100,000 US citizens could lose their lives.